Your phone has been buzzing since 6 in the morning. Not because anyone called you, not because you're important, because the news is everywhere, and everyone in your building has seen it. The TV in the lobby, the radio in the elevator, the group chat that never sleeps. Super El Niño. Super El Niño. Super El Niño. And now the 7th floor guy is asking if the building has a basement. The lady from the 2nd floor has already bought 40 gallons of water, and someone, I'm not making this up, posted a photo of a flashlight he bought in 2019. Here's the thing, you're not panicking, you're calm. Weirdly calm, almost suspiciously calm. And you know what that makes you? The most important person in the building. Because when everyone else is losing their minds over the news, the calm one isn't just relaxed. The calm one is the anchor, the one everyone quietly looks at, hoping you know what to do. So the real question isn't, is the news scary? The news is always scary. The real question is, how do you calm a whole building down? Without sounding like the annoying, relax, it's fine guy. Without pretending nothing's wrong. Without becoming the panic yourself. Because here's the truth, most people never learn. You don't calm people down by telling them to calm down. You calm them down by giving them something to do. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Step by step, the way that actually works. But first, let's look at what almost everyone does wrong. Because I promise you, you've seen it. You might have even done it. Let's be honest about the 4 ways people try to calm a panicking building, and why each one backfires spectacularly. Error number 1. The relax it's fine person. This is the neighbor who walks into the hallway, sees everyone in a panic, and delivers the most useless sentence in human history. Guys, relax, it's never going to happen. I know, it sounds helpful. You're the voice of reason. The calm one. You're basically a hero in a cardigan, but here's what actually happens. Nobody relaxes. They just get annoyed, and now they're panicking and annoyed at you. Congratulations! You've made it worse with good intentions. Because when someone is scared, hearing you're overreacting doesn't calm them down. It makes them feel stupid for being scared. And scared people who feel stupid don't relax. They double down. They buy more water. They send more messages. They post more links to the group chat. The relaxed person means well, but they're basically telling a drowning person to just swim better. Error number 2, the let me fix it with facts person. This one is my favorite. This neighbor has read every article, every study, every single forecast. And they are ready to explain to you, in the stairwell, why your panic is completely scientifically unjustified. They pull out their phone. They show you a chart. They explain the difference between El Niño and Super El Niño. Like they're teaching a graduate seminar to a group of very scared, very uninterested people. And the result? The panicking neighbor nods politely and goes back to buying 40 gallons of water. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Fear doesn't listen to charts. Fear listens to feelings. You cannot argue someone out of a feeling they didn't reason their way into. Facts are great, but facts are not a calming technique. They're a lecture, and nobody gets calm from a lecture. Error number 3, the join the panic person. This one is the sneakiest, because it starts so innocent. You're calm, you're fine, you're the anchor. And then you open the group chat, and everyone is panicking. And before you know it, it's 11 at night, and you're typing, "Should we buy a generator?" Panic is contagious. It spreads faster than any news story. And the moment you join it, you're not helping anyone. You're just adding more noise to the noise. You went from anchor to another floating piece of driftwood. Error number 4, the "I'll handle it alone" person. This is the neighbor who quietly decides they're going to fix everything by themselves. They buy the water, they buy the batteries, they make a plan, all alone, in secret, because they don't want to cause more panic. Noble, right? But here's the problem. When everyone is panicking and one person is quietly doing everything alone, the panic doesn't stop. It gets louder. Because nobody knows there's a plan, and a building without a plan is a building full of scared people. Doing it alone doesn't calm anyone. It just makes you the busiest, most exhausted, least helpful person in the building. So, those are the 4 big mistakes. The relaxed person, the facts person, the panic joiner, the lone wolf. And if you've ever been any of them, welcome to the club. We've all been there. It's not a character flaw. It's just what people do. But here's the good news. There's a way that actually works. And it's not what you think. The secret to calming a panicking building isn't telling people to calm down. It's not facts. It's not doing it alone. It's giving them something to do. Let me tell you about a building, a real one. Well, a real one, in the sense that this happens everywhere, all the time. In every city, in every building, every time the news gets loud. It was a Tuesday. The news had been going nonstop for days. Every channel, every radio station, every phone. Super El Niño this, Super El Niño that. You couldn't escape it if you tried. And by Tuesday afternoon, the building was a beautiful disaster. The group chat was on fire. People were in the hallway, talking over each other. Someone had already bought a canoe. I'm not joking, a canoe. In a building with no water anywhere near it. And in the middle of all this, there was this one guy. Let's call him Mike. Mike wasn't special. He wasn't a leader. He wasn't the building president. He didn't have a fancy title or a clipboard. He was just calm. And he did one thing that changed everything. He didn't say relax. He didn't show a chart. He didn't join the panic. He didn't do it alone. He just asked a question. He walked into the hallway, looked at the group of panicking neighbors, and said, "Okay, so what are we actually going to do?" And everyone stopped. Because nobody had asked that yet. Everyone was panicking about the news. Nobody was thinking about what to do next. Mike didn't fight the fear. He just pointed it somewhere else. And that's the first secret. You don't fight the fear. You redirect it. Panic is energy, a lot of energy, pointed in the wrong direction. And you can't just turn it off, but you can aim it at something useful. So Mike did something beautifully simple. He turned the panic into a list. Step 1, name the fear. Mike said, "Okay, everyone's scared about the news. That's fair. It's a lot. So let's talk about what we're actually scared of." And people started talking. "I'm scared we won't have water. I'm scared the power will go out. I'm scared I won't know what's happening." And here's the magic. Once you name a fear, it gets smaller. It stops being this big, scary cloud of everything is bad. It becomes a list, and a list you can work with. Step 2, turn fear into a task. Mike took each fear and turned it into a simple, tiny task. Scared about water? Great. Let's each grab a few bottles. Not 40 gallons. Just a few. Enough for a couple days. Scared about power? Great. Let's make sure we have flashlights and charged power banks. Everyone check yours tonight. Scared about not knowing what's happening? Great. Let's pick one person to be the info person. They check the reliable sources, and they post updates in the group chat twice a day. So we're not all scrolling and panicking. And suddenly, the building wasn't panicking anymore. It was organizing, because here's the beautiful thing about the human brain. You can't panic and do a task at the same time. Your brain literally cannot do both. The moment you give a scared person a simple, useful task, the panic has to step aside. It doesn't disappear. It just waits. And while it waits, you feel in control. Step 3. Make it small. This is the part everyone gets wrong. They try to make a huge plan, a disaster plan, a survival plan, a color-coded binder with tabs. Mike kept it small. Tiny tasks. One thing each. Nothing overwhelming. Because a big plan is scary. A big plan makes people panic more. But a small task. Grab a few bottles of water. That's easy. That's doable. That makes you feel like you're doing something. And feeling like you're doing something is the antidote to panic. Step 4. Be the steady voice. Here's what Mike did that nobody else did. He kept repeating the same calm message over and over. Not a new message every hour, the same one. We're prepared. We have a plan. We're checking the news twice a day. We're fine. Because here's the thing about a panicking building. People need to hear the calm voice more than once. They need to hear it again and again. That's how calm spreads. The exact same way panic spreads. One calm message, repeated, becomes the new normal. And by that evening, the building was different. People were in the hallway, but they weren't panicking. They were comparing flashlights. Someone had made a little list on the bulletin board. The canoe guy had actually calmed down. He was helping someone test their power bank. The canoe, by the way, is still in his apartment. We don't talk about the canoe. The panic hadn't been defeated. It had been redirected into something useful. And that's the real secret. You don't calm a building down by fighting the panic. You calm it down by giving it a job. So here's your takeaway. The thing to remember when the news is everywhere and your building is losing its collective mind. Don't tell them to relax. Don't show them a chart. Don't join the panic. And don't try to fix it all alone. Instead, ask the question, what are we actually going to do? Name the fear. Turn it into small tasks. Be the steady voice that repeats the calm message. And let the panic become a plan. Because here's the beautiful thing about a building. It's not just walls and floors. It's people. And when people organize together, they stop being scared together. They become a team, a slightly disorganized team with a canoe in the hallway. But a team. And honestly, that's the best part of a building. When the news gets loud, the building gets quiet. Not because nothing's happening, but because everyone knows what they're doing. You don't need to be a leader. You don't need a title. You just need to be the calm one who asks the right question. That's it. That's the whole superpower. One quick note before you go. Every building is different. So before you start organizing anything, check your building's rules. Some buildings have official emergency plans. Some have property managers who handle this. Every building is different. So take all that calm energy and point it at the right people. And if something ever feels like it's beyond what neighbors should handle, that's when the property manager steps in. That's their job, not yours. You're the calm neighbor, not the disaster coordinator. But for the everyday panic, the news overload, the group chat chaos, you've got this. You really do. So, have you ever been the calm one in a panicking building? Or have you been the one who needed calming? What worked? What didn't? Did someone in your building turn the panic into a plan? Or did it just get louder? And be honest, did anyone in your building buy a canoe? Drop your story in the comments. I genuinely want to hear it. Because every building has a story like this. And yours is probably the best one. And here's a little heads up. If you're the one who's terrified by all this news, if your heart races every time the phone buzzes with another headline, if you're the one staring at the 40 gallons of water, wondering if it's enough, then you're going to want to see the next video. Because that's the other side of this story. What to do when you're the one panicking. That's the next story.